Ever wondered what could possibly go wrong when you respond to a seemingly harmless Craigslist ad? Picture a platform brimming with hidden dangers, concealed behind the guise of everyday transactions. Craigslist, a digital marketplace, can sometimes morph into a dark alley of the web, where the unsuspecting may tread. A place where horror stories are born from the most innocent intentions. A chilling reality of the internet age, where danger lurks behind a simple click. Stay with us as we delve into 3 true and deeply disturbing Craigslist encounters. Our first story brings us face to face with a deal that took a terrifying turn. In the labyrinth of online classifieds, our protagonist found what seemed to be a golden opportunity. A vintage watch, a collector's dream, advertised at a bargain. The seller was eager, too eager perhaps to offload their treasure. They corresponded, settling on a price and a meeting spot. A public park, midday. It seemed safe enough. The day arrived and our protagonist, armed with nothing but optimism, ventured to the agreed location. The sun was high, casting long shadows that danced with the rustling leaves. They waited, the ticking of their current watch echoing the seconds that turned into minutes. Then, out of the corner of their eye, they spotted the seller. A nondescript figure, blending into the crowd yet standing apart. As they approached each other, our protagonist felt a chill run down their spine. Something felt off. The seller's eyes darted around nervously, hands shaking as they handed over the watch. It was the real deal, but the transaction was far from ordinary. Suddenly, 2 burly figures emerged from the shadows, closing in. Panic set in as our protagonist was cornered, the watch still in their trembling hand. The seller had vanished, leaving them alone with the 2 menacing figures. The thieves demanded the money, not interested in the watch. With no other option, our protagonist handed over the cash, their heart pounding in their chest. As quickly as they appeared, the thieves vanished, leaving our protagonist shaken but unharmed. In the aftermath, the reality of the situation sank in. They had been set up, lured into a trap by the promise of a bargain. The police were informed, but the seller was long gone, disappeared into the ether of the internet. The watch, a beautiful but haunting reminder of the ordeal, sat heavy in their pocket. A seemingly simple transaction turned into a living nightmare. Next, we explore a story of a dream apartment that turned out to be an absolute house of horrors. Our tale begins with an individual, let's call them Sam, who was on the hunt for the perfect apartment. One day, a Craigslist ad caught their eye. It was the ideal place, spacious, full of natural light, located in a prime neighborhood, and the rent was suspiciously affordable. Sam couldn't believe their luck. Excited, Sam arranged for a viewing. Upon arrival, they were greeted by a cordial landlord who seemed eager to lease the apartment. The place was just as advertised, an idyllic living space that anyone would die for. Sam was over the moon and signed the lease without a second thought. Little did they know they were stepping into a real-life nightmare. It began with strange noises in the middle of the night, whispers from the walls, taps turning on by themselves. Sam brushed it off as the quirks of an old building. Then one night, they found the apartment's hidden secret. A hidden door behind a bookshelf led to a room filled with eerie artifacts, disturbing photographs and cryptic writings on the wall. It was clear. The perfect apartment was a facade for something far more sinister. Terrified, Sam confronted the landlord, who had conveniently disappeared. A little research revealed a chilling truth. The landlord was a notorious con artist, known for luring unsuspecting tenants into his web of deceit and horror. The apartment had a dark history, with previous tenants disappearing under mysterious circumstances. Sam was lucky. They managed to escape unscathed, but the experience left them scarred. Their dream apartment had turned into an unimaginable nightmare, a house of horrors hidden behind a veil of normalcy. It was a stark reminder that if something seems too good to be true, it probably is. A dream home that was anything but. Our final tale is a babysitter's account that will chill you to your core. Imagine a young woman, let's call her Jane, eager to earn some quick money. She stumbles upon a seemingly innocuous Craigslist ad offering good pay for a night of babysitting. The ad, written in polite, friendly language, promises a simple task. Look after a 2-year-old child for a few hours. Intrigued and enticed by the offer, Jane responds. Her initial interaction with the parents is pleasant. They're a charming, well-dressed couple who express their gratitude for her help. She's introduced to a cherubic toddler who she's tasked with watching for the evening. The parents bid Jane and their child goodbye, assuring her they'd be back by midnight. As the door closes behind them, Jane is left alone with the child, completely unaware of the nightmare that awaits. As the evening progresses, Jane begins to sense a feeling of unease. The child, previously cheerful, becomes increasingly agitated. The house, once warm and welcoming, starts to feel cold and eerie. Strange sounds echo through the halls, and the shadows seem to take on a life of their own. Then the child speaks. In a voice that's far too mature for a 2-year-old, he whispers, "They're not my parents." The words send a chill down Jane's spine. She tries to dismiss it as a product of her imagination, but the child repeats the words, each repetition amplifying her fear. Suddenly, the power goes out. Jane is plunged into darkness, the child's words echoing in her ears. She fumbles for her phone, dialing 911. As she waits for help to arrive, she clings to the terrified child, praying for the nightmare to end. When the police finally arrive, they find no trace of the supposed parents. The couple who'd left their child in Jane's care were imposters, their identities, a mystery. Jane had been lured into a dangerous situation under the guise of a simple babysitting job. A job that turned into a fight for survival. These stories reveal the darker side of Craigslist and teach us some invaluable lessons. We began with the deal that went south, where an innocent transaction spiraled into a terrifying encounter. The lesson here: always meet in public places, preferably during the day. Trust your instincts. If something feels off, it probably is. Next, we visited the Apartment of Horrors, a chilling tale of a seemingly ideal rental that turned into a nightmare. The takeaway from this story is to always do your due diligence. Research the location, verify the owner's identity, and never rush into a deal, no matter how enticing it may seem. Our final stop was The Babysitter's Nightmare, a horrifying account of a simple job gone wrong. The lesson to be learned from this tale is to always ensure your safety when offering services, especially in someone else's home. Do a background check if possible, and always let someone else know where you are and what you're doing. In each of these stories, we see the importance of caution when dealing with strangers on platforms like Craigslist. Behind the convenience and the opportunities, there's a dark side, a world of people you don't know and can't always trust. Remember, not every ad tells the complete story. Be vigilant, be safe. Craigslist, a platform of opportunities, but as we've seen, it can also be a platform for horror. It's a stage set for the mundane and the extraordinary, the benign and the terrifying. And today, we've traversed that dark side, peered into the abyss of the human psyche, and emerged from the other side with tales that chill the bones. Let's take a moment to revisit these stories. First, we had The Deal That Went South, a tale of a simple transaction turned nightmare. A reminder that even the most routine exchanges can hide sinister intentions, and how important it is to protect ourselves in these seemingly benign situations. Next, we journeyed into The Apartment of Horrors, a story that began with the promise of a new beginning, a fresh start, but quickly descended into a labyrinth of fear and uncertainty. This serves as a stark warning about the dangers of letting our guard down and the importance of due diligence, especially when it comes to our homes. Then we found ourselves in The Babysitter's Nightmare, a story packed with tension and terror, showing us that even in the most innocent of roles, danger can lurk. This tale underscores the need for vigilance and caution, even when we feel safe in our surroundings. In between these tales of terror, we've learned some hard lessons from the dark side of Craigslist. We've seen how a platform designed to connect people and provide opportunities can also serve as a hunting ground for the sinister and the malevolent. But these stories are not meant to frighten you away from such platforms. Rather, they serve as reminders of the importance of caution and discernment in the digital age. So, as we conclude our journey, remember these stories. Keep their lessons close to your heart. Be cautious, be vigilant, but also be brave. Because life is full of risks, and it is up to us to navigate them safely. Stay safe, and remember, sometimes the scariest stories are those that are true.